And here's another sort of vision. This would be test two. This is based kind of on a true story. I was invited to a company picnic of a very high-performing distribution company, and I was chatting with some guys in the warehouse, and there were some other people there. Like maybe the husband of some lady that worked in payables or something. And he said, well, hey, I got a job. And he, apparently he was working in some warehouse somewhere else in town or something. So I heard him say to this one warehouse fellow that worked for the high performance company, so, be honest with me, what do you guys make working there in the warehouse? And they said, oh, well, I make X bucks an hour. I mean, fully loaded, comp, bump, 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 it would be even higher, it would be whatever. And the guy said, you got to be kidding me. I mean, how do you do that? What are you doing? I mean, basically it's like, looking at you, there's no way you could be worth that. I'm making 50% less than what you're making. So there was sort of this incredulous look that came back, and he said, well, no, actually it's pretty simple. We have a service team that works together so well. We deliver the best service in our industry, unconditionally guaranteed. We put our money where our mouth is. If we don't, have on-time delivery with zero errors, we give people like $50 credit, for doing it. No, never competitors won't do it because they'd go broke type of thing. And so, we're growing fast in the industry and we're making good money and da-da-da-da. And so, in a sense, because we are so productive as far as margin dollar per warm body, the company can afford to pay the employees a higher total compensation package and still make good money. And we got to make the good money because the money's going back to enhance our growth rate. I mean, the guy understands working capital and so forth. And so then the guest said, well, I mean, what are they doing? They sort of really, is it like a slave driver kind of place? They're really whipping you, making you work hard? Is it, to use the Blake Mouton, he said, is it a 10-1 kind of place? And he goes, no, I mean, you're kidding? It's a family. We actually don't have a warehouse manager. We have a warehouse captain. And that person, does a 6-month tour of duty, and then they become one of the guys, and somebody else gets to be the warehouse captain. And to a certain degree, we have to certify into that. That's one of our learn and earn certification things. And so, more experienced guys are rotating through it. And, they have some extra work they have to do, and they got to lead some team meetings and things like that. And for that, they get a little bit of a extra pay thing, and they go back to doing what they're doing. So he had a great explanation as to how it all worked out. And really how they were sort of running their own show in a way. But they weren't because, obviously there were metrics, numbers everywhere. There's no place to hide. They all know what the North Star is. They know what the values of the company are. The culture makes this happen. So the guy says, so what you're saying is, it's really a fantastic job. And the guy said, hey, buddy, it's not a job, it's a career. He said, I've been working here for 4 years, and they have pictures of guys in the warehouse, of guys that used to be working in a warehouse who've been promoted to different jobs in the company. Guys out of our main warehouse here in Center City, headquarters city, have been promoted in purchasing here in town. The service managers at different branches, a couple of them came from here. The service manager in our main warehouse used to be in the warehouse. So because we learn how to learn and get so good at mastering stuff, we know that we can master new stuff. The company knows we can master stuff, and so we have that option. And some people say, no, I like what I'm doing. I just want to be a black belt, second, third, fourth, fifth degree guy in what I'm doing. And so that's a career path. And you can be very happy being a professional guy in the warehouse, or, there are possibilities. Now, if our company weren't growing, they wouldn't be able to promote people from within, but we are. So that's an opportunity. So that would be a conversation that a frontline person would have with a spouse at the company picnic, and they would be able to communicate at that kind of level with that kind of fluency and that kind of conviction and that kind of enthusiasm. So that's a vision. Now, remember the rule of 5 to 7 and 1 to 10. It could be the rule of 15 to 27. It does, repetition, eventually everybody gets it. And if everything's internally consistent, these things will start to fall into place. So that's the second vision test. So let's now summarize, what we're going to do as far as moving forward. Next slide.